Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Magadance, and I found these really great mental health tips from Partners in Health, which is a nonprofit organization that works on health crises around the world. And these mental health tips are really great ones for us to use during this time when we are working on this health crisis. So, the first tip that they have is that social distancing does not mean emotionally distancing. We can use technology to connect with our friends and our family, and it's a great way for us to not feel so alone. Tip number two, set yourself some clear routines and some schedules every day of the week. Different routines and schedules on the weekends, but also don't go overboard with your schedules. Make sure you give yourself plenty of break time. All right, tip number three, make sure you get your exercise and some physical activity. I've been doing yoga every day, and it's been a wonderful thing for me. I just have my kids walking the dog, and that is helpful for them. So make sure you get yourself some exercise every day. Tip number four is to make sure you continue learning and doing some intellectual engagement. Reading books, doing those academic assignments from your teachers, and spending time just learning new things is a really great way to not feel so alone. Tip number five, they suggest is positive family time. So the more positive time we can have together, the easier it is for us to balance out some of that negative feelings that we might be getting from the news and other places. So think about sharing how to cook something that is a family tradition or play some board games. Or remember that social distancing doesn't mean we can't go outside and go for a walk with our families. So go ahead and do those things to do some positive family time. And then, in addition to doing all of these things with other people, it's also important during this social distancing to find a little bit of alone time, especially for those people who tend to be introverts. So you don't want to isolate, but you do want to find some alone time. Tip number seven, practice some focused meditation or relaxation time. This gets into the mindfulness thing, reminding ourselves to really slow down and think about your thinking and pay attention to your here and now. A really good way to do the mindfulness or meditation is to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique, where you find 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can hear, 3 things that you can touch, 2 things that you can smell, and maybe 1 thing that you could taste. That's a good 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 meditation. Tip number 8 is to remember the things that you really enjoy doing and that you still can do right now and try to find a way to do them. So if you love watching Marvel movies, make sure that you find some time to watch some movies. If you love playing basketball or kicking a soccer ball, make sure you find some time to do those things or do that favorite hobby that you never seem to have enough time to do. Tip number 9 is to really try to limit your exposure to the news. Choose just one time during the day or the afternoon when you'll catch up on the news and the latest happenings, but then find some time to kind of cleanse yourself from that too. You don't want news to be always coming in and not giving yourself time to kind of process it. And tip number 10, they say, is to try to bathe daily if you can, because when it's a health crisis like this, that feeling of cleanliness is really helpful to help us to not feel overwhelmed by the health crisis. So, those are your top 10 tips from our Partners in Health, which is a great organization that works with health crises around the world. Take care, everybody.